Hello everyone, today is June 3rd, 2022. It is a Friday. Welcome to another market analysis. I am your host, Jacob Cardarelli, on the Jacob Cardarelli YouTube channel. Let's get right into it. So, looking at the S&P 500 here, got the Heikin-Ashi set up. Let's see how it's looking. So today the market's down. You can see the S&P is down 1.24. The Heikin-Ashi is still pointing a green candle. You could see it's kind of forming a nice stable little top here, stair step, which if it's a stair step, it looks pretty good. I would say things are still bullish, although things are selling off. So, one thing you always want to look at when trading any stock or even cryptocurrency is to see where the general market is relative to where everything else is. I like to look at the weekly too. The weekly still has a green candle. We add an indicator here. Okay, so we got an indicator here. Now, things are starting to reverse. Still some room before it hits that 10-week average, which is right here. You see here it passes up, so it definitely could break through there. Look on the 1 day, it's well above its 10. So it's still pretty bullish signal, even though it's down today. I think that this was a really big sell-off and kind of scared away a lot of people, which, I don't think we have some time before we see a real crash. I mean, things are so elevated here, it's not going to just suddenly just crash. It's going to go sideways for a long time before it decides to tank. And the one thing I learned is to pay attention a lot to the S&P 500 versus the other indices and just kind of stick with that. Today it is down 1.14 right now as speaking. So NASDAQ down 2%, Dow Jones down 0.5%. But anyways, one stock I wanted to talk to you guys about today was Kodak. Kodak's kind of an interesting play. You see here it spiked all the way to $60 in like 2 days. I think people remember that. Over here it had a spike too. The reason being it's kind of an interesting play is a rotational play. One thing, I pay attention to is rotation when things sell off and then go back. It's like, for example, you had the COVID crash back here, and then what happened after it? It fucking exploded. So I'm thinking that we had this sell off here, and then it could explode again. Similar formation where it dived up, down, up. And today is, what is it? It's down 2%, which isn't so bad considering it's such a volatile stock and the rest of the market's down. Heikin-Ashi's still green. It looks like it could pop again. This is a pretty interesting play. You got to be able to lock up your money for a while, though, if you want to play it. I actually have options on these short term, which are very risky, but at the same time, the payout could be huge if it does explode. So that's kind of one play. I like to go to Yahoo because it shows some of these options here. Let's see here. Like, again, these are very risky, so it's not something you bet the house on, but the payout could be huge. You look at here, maybe like a month out. These are only worth 35 cents, like calls. These are short-term plays. If you wanted to go longer term, you could do even January, which is only $1. And the reason that's so I actually bought some because I'm a psycho. Let me show you. I bought some of these at $7.50 because they were trading for like 5 cents, and that's where I got them at. Not today, but yesterday around like 6 cents, or two days ago it was around 6 cents. I entered a position on this, just as if it goes to $6 over 7.5. That's times 100. So, and I could see this really popping. It's not that crazy to me, just because the odds are such a big payout. But at the same time, if it doesn't before 7:15, which is a very short range here, then like I lose it. But it doesn't seem like that bad of a play. So, yep. You look here, it's kind of flagging upward. It's starting to go, it's still trending like upward, even though today it's down. I think that you're getting a formation like it is here. It only takes a day for this thing to fly, just based on past history. And then it pulled back too, which gives me more confidence. And let's see here, if we do like rotation, because I like to show the rotation setting. This here was the COVID crash, or the sell-off, we should say. It wasn't so much a crash, it's more of a sell-off. And then shortly after, it exploded. So right here, you're getting a sell-off in the S&P, so I'm thinking shortly after, it's going to explode. Just if it follows suit with what it did before in the sense of rotation. So it's a very quick moving stock, as you could see here. It went all the way up to $60. When, I don't know if people remember that when it exploded, but it's still a very active play, I'd say. And to be honest, for such a volatile asset, it's been performing pretty well. Like if you look here, since February, it's outperformed the S&P 500. But that's just, you know, if you're nitpicking, like where it's done the best. So if you know, you look here, you know, this is similar to the, you always want to kind of compare it to the S&P and see when it sold off hard, but when it bounced back, it bounced back hard. So when it sold off hard, but it bounces back, it's going to bounce back hard. So this is a pretty good play if you expect the S&P to continue to rise over the next couple weeks, which the fact that it's under the 10 and I think it's going to pop again, I think it's a pretty good bet. And you know, the best play would probably be just to hold the stock. I'm a psycho, and like I said, I trade options. One thing I wanted to go over again real quickly is, this will be a short video today, is the Tilray. So Tilray, I have calls that go all the way to January, and these things are trading for like $1. And I've already been in it in my past video. I'm going to show you again. So if you go to 2023, these are only trading for $1, which is crazy to me. I mean, this thing's has, I mean, you have 7 months until these expire, and they only need to go up $1 over 5 to 6. So $6 the break even point. And I mean, look at this. It's probably going to end up popping right here. It popped to $8. That'd be times 3 your money. This thing could go all the way to like $100, which would be 100 or almost 100x, 90x. It's a pretty good bet. You know, I think that'll pay off over time too. One thing to pay attention to is the rotational setting. And like one thing you saw yesterday was that gold stocks and silver stocks did really well. That's kind of normal. Once things sell off, gold and silver is like usually a great play too. You got to kind of go into commodities. I mean, Kodak's a chemical company, so it's not so much like commodity based, and like it's also does a lot of technology stuff. But the thing is the way it rotates in its stock. It's not so much a rotational play in the sense of its industry or whatever. I mean, I'm just hoping for a spike like this. And today it's not going down too bad. I mean, considering the Nasdaq's down 2.2%, it's not underperforming. Well, it is a little bit, but it's not doing so bad. So yesterday was up 6%, which is pretty good. Yeah, so that's about it. I mean, I just want to go over Kodak and see it as a play. Maybe let me know what you think, and also go over Tilray again. But yeah, so we'll see here. This needs to pop. The S&P needs to pop for sure, which I think it's going to in the next couple of weeks. You're getting a little bit of a sideways movement here, but I don't really see it just going straight down. I see this 10-day moving average is pretty good support underneath it. So I think you're going to get a trade up in the next couple weeks. You even look at the 1 week, like it's got a lot of support right here too, which is the 100-day moving average on the weekly. And it dipped below, but now that it's above, I think it's going to stay above. This 10-day is a little sketchy, but then you also have this 50-week average coming up over here. I like to look at the weekly. A lot of people just look at the daily, but it gives a whole nother lens to look at. I think this is kind of bringing the hammer down right now, is this 10-day, but it's squeezing, so it's either going to pick a direction down or up. I think we're going up right now. I think that a lot of people were bearish and there was a lot of panic, but this needs to go sideways a lot more, trade sideways a little bit, and then sell off. So it'll be an interesting couple of weeks. Haven't been really doing great this week, just as Tilray's been selling off. And that's something I went over in my other video if you want to watch that. But yeah, so I mean, either way, you know, both of these, Kodak and Tilray, are going to probably spike when the general market does. So we'll see. All right, that's it for today. Peace.